my thing.
I
Hello.
don't care if they can hear me or not.
I know. And but I think they can. And hello everybody. How are you? Although nobody's here because we didn't really give much time beforehand. Never, very seldom is somebody here when I start up my broadcast. But I say welcome everybody to the nobody of people that is here usually. But anyways, I should share this out then. And just for the people out there, so although we've been on a call together for a couple hours now, how are you, Metal?
Miserable, but hey, we're getting through it. Nothing to do with the fact that we've been on call. That was also my answer when you first asked me when we hopped on call before.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Okay, so
I'm definitely feeling better now that I have food in my stomach, though, so that's something.
well, that's good. That's good. But is it Gouda?
No, I think it's ricotta. I
Yeah.
put like cheese curds all over these fries, which
And do you
also I
have
didn't
gravy?
ask
Do
for.
you have gravy on it?
No, I am not eating poutine.
I was gonna say.
This is from a Greek place.
I was gonna say. Then you have poutine. If you put gravy on it, you can still put gravy on it. Could be from a thing, a Greek place, and
I'm
then
sure.
you put gravy on it.
Yeah, except I'm not big on gravy, so.
Uh, and I forget how you do Greek fries. There's such thing as Greek fries, as far as I know. So,
I'd rather just like take all the stuff that goes on a gyro and just put that on the fries. That I think that would be better.
yeah, I think that's what you do something similar to that, and it's Greek fries. I'm not sure.
But that is what I'm eating. I have a gyro in front of me. It's already like halfway gone.
Yeah, well, because we you got it like 20 minutes ago or something like that. Okay, so
Rick, I'm gonna have to burst your bubble, pun intended. Where the earlier ones, I said I wasn't gonna touch your thought bubble because I know how hard it was, but this one is just
nasty.
layered so awfully that I'm gonna have to make you redo this bubble
Okay, let me.
whenever you're ready to get back into it.
Yeah, I think. Let
No
me.
rush.
Let's
We
see,
were trying to get through it before because we were trying to get finished before your stream, but this is taking so long. Don't feel rushed.
me for rush, never. So I'm just gonna bring the chat over so I can see it. Now let me see our chat window on Discord. That is a call just between me and you. Although we could get into a regular call if somebody
If we
wanted.
finish,
Yeah.
we're working right now, Rick. It's fine to talk to the chat. I don't want other voices disrupting us.
The only person that I wouldn't mind coming in is Alpha because uh,
He's also
Alpha.
working on stuff.
Yeah, well, we were supposed to get together today to um go over stuff on what's the name of it? Snowdrift 2.
Yeah, but we gotta priorities. We gotta one thing
Yeah.
at a time. If we finish this, then we can go move to your public call.
Okay. So you think this one's bad?
Yeah. I think that's pretty bad. I'm not complaining mostly about the shape. I know you had to basically do it by hand. It's the shape of your words
Oh, okay.
and how much space it's taking up.
Okay. I'm not sure what I can
It's
do.
just the other ones. They were layered okay. This one is just not stacked very well at all. That's why I didn't make you change the other ones.
Okay. Panel 1, okay.
But I'm gonna make you restack both of the bubbles in this one.
Uh, I'm moving some things around so I can hopefully see the chat and see my screen. Because I put the chat over on my drawing tablet. Hopefully I don't have to draw. But I think I'm going to have to, because if you make me redo that, the thought bubble. Okay, I guess let's deal with...
Maybe see if you could just like use the resize tool to warp it into the right shape.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do in a minute.
Yeah.
If it lets me.
Yeah. I tried to avoid it with the other ones, but this one it just has to be restacked.
Okay, serve. So that one good?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. That's been most of this call, by the way, people. It's Rick actually just pulled me on to like check the grammar on a couple things, and then it's just spiraled into me making him redo half of his balloons.
More than half. Well, actually, I did pull you on for the grammar and all that for those, but, you know, I knew I needed you to go over this before I sent it out because, you know, one last final check, you know, make sure I copied everything over correctly, you know. We've had to add a few commas and you know, part of your editor job is making sure I do this stuff correctly.
Yes, yeah.
You know, and unlike certain other people that think, you know, it's a pain, would be a pain to be my editor. I don't think you think it's too much of a pain to be my editor.
No, that's fine.
Because I've actually requested you to be my pet, you know, my editor. Yes, we are in this. We are. Hey, Tim. Yes, we are in Discord, but it's just person-to-person call. Me to Metal, not yeah, but not in like any of my chat rooms. So as soon as we get this done, we might go into that. Anyways, but yeah, you know, like I listen to people. Sometimes I listen. I take it for, you know, what it is. You know what I mean. You know whether I want to follow the advice or not. But I'm paying.
I made you redo bits of art in this session too.
Yeah.
With the coloring, because it just was not satisfactory in that one panel.
Yeah, but you know, like, so it's I'm not a, you know, like, if I'm hiring somebody to do this job, of course the person I'm talking about that was trying to edit me from the chat, Elk, I never asked him to. So, you know, and I'm not sure what else to say, you know, like, and to me his ideas were not always the best. You know, I considered them. I figured he's just like lots of other people in the chat have tried to, quote unquote, edit me. But it's like,
yeah, unlike me, where my ideas are never wrong.
You know, oh, sometimes they are, but mostly they're good. I will say that. Okay, anyway, so rest in peace, Elk. Well, I think he's still alive, but he got banned from my chat, so.
Well, you still give a rip or like an F or an 07 when somebody gets banned from a chat. Yeah, you know, I don't dislike that. That's fine.
Okay.
If you want to draw your thought around that.
Okay, let's see. Can we do anything with this thought?
Yeah, can we just like grab the sides and just like squeeze it in? What will that do to the lines on the outside, I wonder?
Okay.
Oh, that's right. Clip Studio lets you treat something like a vector. You could pull at each individual spot if you wanted to.
Yeah. Now, will it let me continue? Is that good? You like that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you feel good about it that you don't feel like actually redoing the whole thing, I don't care. I cared more about how the lettering looked than I cared about the bubble.
uh,
You're definitely gonna have to move it. It can't sit in that location.
yeah, I know. That might be a problem because I go to move this and
Oh, it
so
grabs that piece of his face. Why is it on that layer?
it's not.
Do you have more than one layer selected by accident, or?
No. I don't know what's happened with that. Let's see. Let's move the
Oh,
lettering.
Tim says I'm so humble. Sarcasm. Well, I'm a lot more when we're not on stream.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, but now, you know what? I'm
Can
gonna
you just
have.
like lasso the individual bubbles on the outside and move them a little bit?
Uh, ah, okay, I'm not sure how much this is gonna mess with things, but I'm gonna move it over to my. Okay, so let's see. Can we lasso? Let's see. I'm gonna do two of them.
Yeah, that's the only two you actually have to lasso, though. Let's see if it'll let you move just those.
I don't think so.
No, because they're treating it like it's the same object.
Control X. Two. No, it won't even let me cut it.
Hmm.
Okay, well, let me. Well, that's going on. Where is our
Dude, you would
chat?
just erase that part and draw two new little circles.
No, I tried to hit the. I guess.
The
Could,
Control X should have erased it, probably, but
no, it won't let me erase. I bring it up and
oh
it's.
well. It's being stubborn. I don't use Clip Studio, so you know this program better than I do. I do Photoshop. For me, that'd be an easy fix.
You know what? Let's grab the lettering, move it up, and then I guess we'll take that. And delete it.
Just draw a new one at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna be faster and easier.
Okay, well, if you're going to do that, can we move the words a little bit more in the corner so it doesn't touch a shoulder? Just a bit.
Move it like there.
Yeah, just so it's not slamming into him. Yeah, that's fine, and anywhere as long as it's just not too close to the border of the panel either.
Balloon pen. So then we go over here and we All right. You think? But balloon
Listen,
tail.
man, I understand that
Oh,
it's a bit of a hassle to try to do the top balloon thing. Once I'm good with the lettering, I'm leaving that part up to you. I'm not going to criticize it too much. Top balloon tail kind of sucks, doesn't it?
yeah.
Okay, what if oh, I was gonna say what if we point it towards his head instead, right, like towards the brain instead of towards his ear?
Stop. Balloon tail.
Rick, are you a big fan of speed lines?
Not really. Well, sometimes,
Okay.
but not.
Tim seems to think you are.
No, this is my artist, his idea.
I'm a big fan of speed lines when appropriate and if done well. But that's because I would prefer almost anything to having to draw a background.
What do you think of that, Metal?
I don't know. I think I liked it better on the other side.
Yeah.
I know you're having some trouble. You might be able to get more out of it if we just lower it into the corner more, though. Right? Like, let's just lower it physically down in the panel, closer to the corner. Then you have more room to work with your line. Like, this space almost feels meant for it. I don't think we should argue at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm probably gonna have to do this for some other ones, thought balloons that are coming up on other pages. But
I don't know. It depends how bad, how atrocious they are. You know, like I didn't make you touch the other two.
get out of my head.
Right, you can attest. This is the first one I made you do.
Okay. Let's move this now. And delete that. Back there. No, maybe if I'm on the right
Tim's
thing.
yelling at me to get out of his head. No, I refuse. I'm going to live there rent free for the rest of your life.
If only it could actually give you the money to play. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Only you could actually live there, and not cost you any rent.
I don't know if I'd want to though.
Yeah, it is Tim's head, right? And Tim saying no. Okay, so
I mean, on the one hand though, if I was in his head, I guess I would be roommates with Melvin, and that wouldn't necessarily be the end of the world. At least he's kind of a cool character.
okay, so we're good with panel one there.
Yeah. We're good with panel one. We can move on. Can we stack where is on top of everyone?
No. Oh.
And that might be the only one I make you do just because this is a panel that's really tight on space. And also, I don't think you have to redo the bubble if we just do this one. Because I know if you redo that bubble, which it is kind of wide, you have to redo the whole thing for both of them.
Yeah. Yes, but
If you
it's
do end up doing that, then I guess we should restack with the other thing that the Canadian Shield says too.
we might be able to restart that anyways. Let's see.
Oh, I see. That just looks so much better.
Tim says, "Joke's on you. It's scheduled to be demolished in 2026." Your brain is scheduled to be demolished in 2026? How will there be any more Melvin? And then he says, "Oh, thank you about Melvin being a cool character, I believe." Okay, so beyond what we did, anything else? Nothing else, right?
No, that's fine. Like I said, it's the way you have all the words. It'd be really awkward, not to restack them, but to have different bubble shapes.
Hmm. Listen,
Though, I mean, that bottom one probably could be stacked in a way to where you don't have to cover up any of the shield. Which I think is probably the most important part of that image, to not cover up the shield.
let's see. I was just trying to keep the, that whole thing of.
Oh, I understand. You want to keep the why should I all as one line. But we could just make this taller. In fact, actually, you could keep the should I together and just make y its own line. We could go that tall. There's plenty of space for it.
What do you think about that?
Can we try moving one to the middle line?
To the line before it?
Yeah, yeah. See, I like that more.
Mm-hmm. Put that there then. Get rid
There should be
of.
plenty of space to still have your bubble without covering up too much of the shield at all.
Get the bubble around it.
I think covering up just a little bit of his elbow is probably better than covering up the entire lower half of his body.
That looks good, I think.
Sure.
And there's. Let's. Right to his nuts. No.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna be mouthing off to the shield, you're gonna have to be talking with your cojones.
Ah. Yeah. I accidentally trying just to erase the. Had this perfect and then. Okay, there we go. Before we do that one, we got this one. Although I think that one could go a little higher.
Yeah, otherwise I'm fine with it.
That look good?
Yeah, yeah. 'Cause I think if we were to restack that one, it would just block more of the shield's cape.
Yeah.
Yeah, top one's fine. Bottom one, I think is grammatically fine. You just might want to check your spaces and stuff.
Guess what? I
Is
was
that what you're gonna do?
yeah, I was just noticing that fourth line looked a little wonky. A little off-centered.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so it's good now, right?
Yep, yep. Yeah, I'm fine with that one too.
Yeah, maybe if Elk would have stuck around and not belittled me, he might have learned something or two from how to edit me.
Maybe. No, or maybe he would have learned that somebody actually was editing you. There's that too.
Well, we told him that, and he's like, he thought, like you'd need the patience of a saint or something like that to do it.
Well, I am told I have the patience of a saint. But I learned that dealing with my mom growing up.
Yeah. Hey, Flit. That's a lot of words.
It is a lot of words. That's why we try to work with it the best we can. I think I want to restack this one if there's we can get this narrower.
That's kind of 6, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, you think that's a lot of words? There was one earlier that I made him break up into 2 different bubbles. That was before we hopped on stream. We've actually been at this for multiple hours now.
Yeah, but we also did a couple other projects, although this says...
They're all part of the same project. Just different parts of it.
Yeah, but I just more mean it's not the comic itself, is
Well,
it? Like, well, the
technically,
one
Back to the
part,
Pulpit is the comic itself.
yeah, I was just thinking that, but the card isn't. Although the card didn't take that long. Is that better or?
Yeah, that's better. That's definitely better.
And how are you, Flit? Let's see, move that up. And we'll delete that. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to put some money up in my whatchamacallit. So it might be a week or two before I get you any money for this. But I think you know I'm
Oh,
good
yeah, that's
for it.
fine. You've never stiffed me yet.
I might wait to put it up after my pay on Friday.
Yeah, he says, "I'm tired, boss." Actually, I rewatched The Green Mile recently, like a couple weeks ago. It's been a while.
And I take it that's good.
Yeah. He wants to know, what font do you use?
I am using I think it's called Back Issue BB.
Mm.
BB regular. I got it
I
off
think that's one
of
of the few that I don't have.
geez, it was a website, a guy that is, allows you to use stuff free for this. You know, as long as you're, not a big company. Otherwise, you want to see pay.
No, I always get all my stuff off of Font Squirrel because everything on Font Squirrel is commercially license free. And if it doesn't, there's a little note on there telling you before you even download it that this has a special license. So you can always go and look. But if it
Yeah,
doesn't have a note, it's just by default license, commercially free.
yeah. I forget. It's pretty big. Well, I shouldn't say
Well, if you
pretty
say
big.
BB, I'm guessing it is Blambot.
Yeah, I think that was.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Blambot.
I do have the Anime Ace font though. Flit. I think it's Anime Ace.
Okay, if you're happy
Uh,
with this page, I am.
yeah, I have Anime Ace 2 and 3. So from them, from Blambot, and I have used it before. Okay, so I saved. Also, save just again.
I think my favorite font for this stuff is the Comica line, which is spelled with a K. I use that for a lot of stuff. For X Animus Chaos, though, my main font I use is VTC Letterer Pro. Purple. Lots of purple on this page. Oh, you know what I'm yelling at for this one. That is way too narrow, way too wide of a box. It makes the balloon look all ugly.
Dabba dabba doo, Scooby Doo. There we go. Eclipse. On that. Center slightly better. Good.
Yep, that's fine. Rick. I'm gonna remake you do both, or make you redo both of these.
Somehow I thought that.
Yeah.
Canadian Shield totally unbothered by the Omega beams. Yeah. Something like that. Okay, so I guess what are we doing here?
Let's find out. Let's see what this could look like. You might need to be on its own row with the ellipsis. And so yeah, let's see if we put 2 with destroy, what it looks like. Yeah, with the combined panel, that'll look fine, or the combined bubble. So let's see about the second one.
Hey, they are purple, so are beams formerly known as Omega beams.
Oh,
Left,
like
left,
formerly known as Prince, who wore a lot of purple. Okay, I think yeah, Are You Made should probably all be the middle. Then we'll get like a nice little diamond out of that. Oh, that actually even fits in the box you get. You know, if you're happy with the first bubble, even though there's space on the side, I'm not going to make you change it. That's up to you.
Guess what? So I don't have
You're
to
not
change.
happy with it?
Yeah, obviously I could probably deal with it being a little smaller, but
Yeah.
guess what?
You're fine. That's fine. I don't
I'm
care.
fine enough with it that I don't really want to have to make 2 bubbles and then combine the layers and then put on
Only because the second one still fits in it. Otherwise, I would have yelled at you.
Guess what? I would have yelled at myself.
Unless we put this into 2 different, like separate the 2 sentences, which doesn't sound like a bad idea. I don't see another way of doing it. Do you feel like making this 2 bubbles, Rick? Do you want to put one up in the top corner by his head and the other underneath the beams by his leg?
Well, I guess why don't you just make yourself easy on yourself and surrender is what you're thinking?
Yeah, like separating the 2 different sentences into their own bubbles so they fit cleaner in the panel.
I guess. Come on.
For everyone watching, this is the only reason why we've been here for hours, because if I didn't tell Rick to change any of these bubbles, he would not have.
Hey, it's a new thing for us.
Yeah.
Because
I think I only ever made you do this once or twice in the previous ones.
yeah.
Like, I think it was in Snowdrift. I made you change like 2 bubbles, I think.
So, like, it's a new process of the editing. I'm getting the words all in there properly, so, you gotta earn your pay a different way. On the, the whatchamacallit, this second go through. Okay, let's delete that. Move that up
Because
there.
like realistically, if I was gonna have a huge bubble like that at the top, I wouldn't even make it a circle, right? I would have just drawn like a curve across the top and just make the entire thing. You know,
Okay. And now, of
because
course,
making it a like a ellipse like that just ends up looking ugly with the corners. Oh yeah, that'll fit fine. We won't have to block his head or anything.
that's almost good just like that. Unless you think we should make it skinnier.
Oh no, that needs to be skinnier. If we can. I'm trying to think. Because surrender has to take up the whole bottom row, like line by itself. Hmm. I guess it's okay to block the beam. No, we could probably go back the way you had it before. I was just trying to not block the beam, but I'm thinking about it. I don't think it matters if part of the beam is blocked. You can still see the rest of it.
Is that how I had it?
I think it was maybe one step back. Yeah, I think this is how you had it. Yeah, that's fine. It's not blocking anything important. Let's just slave driver Rick. You gotta earn your pay, boy. Listen, if anything, what I'm doing is I'm forcing Rick to earn my pay instead of me just like phoning in and be like, yeah, that's good, that's good, that's good.
Yeah, it also gets me to be better at this, like,
Yeah.
I must admit, I was half being lazy on this one too, because I just wanted to
Yeah.
get it done. I cared, but I didn't care.
Or actually, if anything, not making you earn my pay. I'm making you earn the fact that my name is on this book, you know?
Uh,
Like, I can't control everything, but I think if my name was on here as editor and at least the lettering and bubbles looked bad, I'd feel bad.
okay, so that good?
A little bit to the left. So that it's just, like, not over the panel border. There we go. That's good. That one's fine.
Nothing being said there. I don't think there's been anything being said down here. Just
There's a big wham. I don't know if you could control this, but did you want to do the same thing we did earlier, where we swapped the purple and the black and see if it pops better?
let's pass.
If it's too much trouble, it's fine. But you remember saying you did think the other one looked better when we flipped it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. Okay, so need to do here is come down here. And grab that. Load here. Copy that, and we want that black, I believe. And then we want to come up here, select that, we want that purple. Oh yeah, I must say I do think I like that a little bit better.
Oh yeah, it really pops that way.
So that is another page done.
Yep, that one's a wrap.
Okay, so Cathud, think we should try it the other way, or do you think that's good?
No, I think that one has more impact that way. But it's also because it's being surrounded by such a bright color. The purple, I don't think was bright enough to make the black pop. I think that was the bigger thing.
Okay. So,
I think this one I'm just gonna make you move it to the side just a tad bit more if you can. Like only enough that the leaf doesn't end up touching the other black part that's jutting up, but maybe to the left just a tiny bit. Yeah, that's better. Because that was like ramming right into the wall on the side.
yeah. So, I think you were probably going to say
This
at
one
least.
doesn't offend me.
I think we can move it
It
up.
still has a fine shape to it. You know, that's fine. The one I made you change before was just like an awful, awful shape to the words.
Okay, so nothing there. Only thing here is the cold.
I don't know if the
The
red
whack.
is bright enough to make it pop, so maybe we'll try to do the flip with that one.
Second. No, that. Of course, that is right here. So let's zoom in. Red, let's come out.
Because the real thing we want to think about with like the onomatopoeia and everything is like, does it pop enough that I can read it at a glance without having to like really focus on it at the size of a page?
I think actually I do like that better too. I'm trying to come up with different, sound effects sounds for the hitting too.
Yeah.
We got
page.
We got the Cathud, we got the thwack.
I mean, if you want to try the Cathud the other way to see if you like it better, you could always try that. See if you're more satisfied with the page. Like, I think it pops, but it may still even pop better the other way around.
Let's zoom in again here.
And sometimes for big things like that, it is better to just zoom out and look at the whole page.
So let's create one black. And we want to select looks all right, but I'm thinking it'll look better the other way.
Yeah, like I said, the yellow was bright enough that it definitely still popped. I just wanted to see.
Yeah. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't have the same impact as the red, with the red or the purple way. Okay, so there's another page done. So,
Yeah, that one's fine.
okay.
I wouldn't even conceive of a way that one would be better. Um, yeah, I'm not gonna yell at you about this one.
Okay, I guess that's good. And actually, I think that's it for that page too.
Yeah, that's a page we could just scrap past this one.
Because there's no other sound effects.
Unless you actually just want to take the bubble from that third panel and just move the whole thing down a little bit, so it's not touching his hand. That would make the panel look better.
Oh.
Oh no, not the panel. The exact opposite thing that I wanted you to move.
Well, I grabbed panel 3 just because I forgot it wasn't I thought I was in the lettering area.
There we go. Oh, it doesn't have to be that far down.
Well, I'm letting the line.
Yeah.
At that point, I let the lines show too.
Okay.
These shaky lines or whatever you want to call them. Okay, that's done. Yay, another easy page. You got another easy page.
Only one thing here. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna make you redo this one.
Yeah. I saw it and I thought, yep. I gotta redo that one. He's gonna say, you gotta redo that one. Oh, that's panel 5, not panel 6. So let me guess. Where did... Yeah, and we got something, another reason to redo it. It's missing an M.
Yep. Okay, I like that, yeah.
I think it still fits the panel. Yay! There's the thing.
You gotta squish it down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, and you can probably, obviously you can, pardon?
Almost looks like Navi from The Legend of Zelda.
And as you can see, I pretty much shaded Canadian Shield completely. But how do you like that?
The light would be behind him, right?
Yeah, well, the light, that doesn't even affect him, the light of the portal.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect...
Like stars and stuff behind him, right? So.
Yeah, well, there'd be stars.
What there would be completely behind him.
Yeah. But, no, my point was more, I let the red of his shield in his eyes and the shield on the forehead stay not shaded. Not sure whether you know it. Stylistic choice?
Okay, I guess. I was going to ask if there was like a canonical reason. Like, do these things glow in the dark? Are they like, do they glow by the light of God or something?
Well, definitely not by the light of God, because this is a technological...
his faith?
Because they're a technological suit. But, I did think, after I did it, like, it could be minutely lit, you know, not where it casts,
He's got LEDs inside of his suit.
yeah, LED in the whatchamacallit, sort of like
It does make
Batman's,
it look a little off, if I would say though, compared to everything else.
you know, Target, sort of like Batman's bat symbol. Here, Target here. The whole suit
Yeah,
is protection, but Target here.
yeah. I don't know. It does make it look a little off coloring wise.
Anyways, that's done. Oh, this one's got a little bit more to it. And somehow I think.
Yeah, crunch it. Crunch it. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And it fits still, so I'm cool with that part.
You need to redo that bubble anyway, because it's got a gray border. No, not the previous one, the one we're on now.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah.
It became the same color as the background.
Oh, is he like
Which, if we're
Captain
doing
Power?
that, what happens if we put the on the same line as yes? Like if we have to do this regardless, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the maple leaf is reflective tape. Oh, like maybe it's like an ultra reflective material where it reflects even more than the light around it should, like how like stop signs are.
I guess so, yeah, maybe. Well, see, the problem with this horse is it's not supposed to be a horse on fire or surrounded by fire. It's supposed to be a horse made of fire.
Oh, and that was just like the best you could get out of your artist.
Like in the actual script, I say, where is it? I don't know what page this is, but
But yeah, it's supposed to be like the equivalent, like a seraph's flaming sword.
yeah.
You kind of
Well,
expect to just be made of flame or something. You wanted the horse
well,
to be
I
made of flame.
yeah, and I took it literally out of the Bible. With Elijah. I think
Yeah.
it's Elijah. The fiery chariot and the horses. It says
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
made of fire. There we go. Out of a vortex comes messenger on a horse that is made of fire. And he put a horse and put fire around it. Anyways, yeah, that looks better with the up there. But I guess I'm gonna have to she can never park near a gas station.
I don't think he's worried about parking his horse anyway, you know?
Well, the other thing too is that horse is more supernatural.
Yeah, yeah.
So
It'd be like if your horse is made of like living flame, it could probably disappear as easily as it appears. You would never have to park it anywhere. Be like how, yeah, again, the flaming sword. A seraph never needs to carry his sword around. He just kind of like clench his fist and it could form because it's just made of flame.
Yeah, there's that. You know, like, and I'm just trying to give Messenger, you know, it's been pretty standard, you know, just a portal and come through. But, you know, Canadian Shield's in the middle of the sky. Messenger can't fly. So, you
But
know,
why though?
why can't he fly?
Yeah, like it feels like he just could if he wanted to. Like it probably should just be able to.
Yeah, I know. He's an angel. He should be able to fly. Well, guess what? I wanted it to be a little thing. But then again, he's on a flying horse, right? A flying horse made of fire.
Yeah. So it's like the idea. It's like, well, I could fly, but it's cooler to be on a horse. It's more awe-inspiring to be on a flaming horse.
On heck, even in the first panel here, he has Messenger on fire too, and then Messenger's no longer on fire.
Yeah, that's very inconsistent.
And I just didn't feel like redoing the fire just for things, so it's like, okay, whatever. I'll just do it this way. No explanation.
He says you can never let kids ride on that horse. Oh, I don't think that's a problem, right? It'd be like Ponyta or Rapidash from Pokemon, where if the Pokemon likes you, the flames don't hurt, right? This is a divine horse, right? If God didn't want the horse to hurt you, you could just ride on the flaming horse. That's how
And
divine things work.
yeah, and really the thing is too, this sort of is supernatural flames in a sense.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it when it was happening, but I thought it's going to be a nice um pre thing, you know, set up for the flame, my next
Yeah.
character, you know, because he produces flame, that's his power, but he also can engulf himself in flames, but when he does that, it's only supernatural flame.
Well, what I'm gonna say that that this word balloon has to be redone.
That's three, right? Yes. And it's messengers that has to be redone, not
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, we could probably deal with shields. I don't really care about that one, but messengers, this is a bulky mess. A bulky messenger. Which we could try to redo it in one, if it'll work that way. But Rick, you do need to start feeling comfortable that if you end up with just too much text like this, that it can always be broken down into smaller balloons that
Yeah.
touch each other.
Yeah, well, I did it for a few, as you know, right? So
Yeah.
even without you here, you came in and I had already done it, although you wouldn't necessarily, you could know or not know, I'm not sure how, but, you know, but I've done it already, I guess is my point, so I guess sometimes I just want it, the big one or whatever, I don't know. Is that like
I think your default mode is this was all one line, so I'm going to paste it all as one.
Yeah, that's partly it, probably. Let's see. Is this
That is a
the
question.
king? Okay, you can read it since
He wants to know: is this like the Kintun? Only those pure of heart can ride the flaming purple horse without getting burned.
well, I wouldn't necessarily say that. I don't know anything beyond about this horse beyond the fact that the messenger is riding it to get around and to fly. Because the horse can fly, but he can't for whatever reason.
We don't even know if the horse exists when Messenger doesn't want it to exist.
Yeah. You know, like I'm thinking this is one of the horses that was pulling the chariot, made a fire that Elijah saw.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, what do you think of what I
Yeah.
did?
I think we need to move again to the line above it.
Again?
Yep. Yep. Move again. Back to it. And I'm happy with that. That's fine.
I'm
I
gonna
guess.
try one.
Maybe two. You could try moving two up, but
How about that?
reverse it and move two and see if I like that more. No, yeah, I want to see if like you move two next to instructed if that looks better.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant.
See, I like that a lot better.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot more balanced, you know.
And I'd say fits, so.
It's kind of crunched now. Right? Like the top and bottom's tight while the edges are too wide. If the top and bottom wasn't tight, I'd probably let it slide, but now it just feels like it's crunched in there.
Ah! Took the wrong thing away.
You got to let your words breathe, Rick, you know? Makes them easier to read.
Okay. Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo. Tim says, if someone is pure a fart, it causes the horse to temporarily get more power.
I'm guessing because it ignites the methane in the fart. Yep. No, we're halfway through this process. We kind of decided that maybe next time, like for the next comic, I'm just going to be in call with Rick when he does most of the lettering. We just get it all right the first time.
Yeah, it just means a lot. Not that this isn't long, but
It'll be a long session, but it'll save you time overall because it'll just be all done in one session instead of you doing it all and then me telling you to fix it.
okay, take it the seconds later is all right.
Yeah, that's fine. That one's not.
Yeah, I saw that.
You can see like almost half the bubble's empty.
Ah,
Another line there, but obviously there isn't.
Let's see. We want to take, I think, traveling on that line.
Oh yeah, that's fine. You don't even have to adjust the bubble. Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm beginning to see the patterns. When?
You just go way too wide sometimes, you know? And sometimes it's justified. A lot of times it's not. Though I guess technically none of it's ever justified in the typography sense. We don't use justified type around here. We use centered.
That good?
I guess if there was an option, I don't... Yeah, that's fine.
No, although I have to redo the bubble, but...
Yeah. I don't know if Clip Studio has an option for justified type. I know Photoshop doesn't. Justified would be fine for text boxes, which is the one where Basically, it'll take the
Oh
two
yeah.
words on the end of each line, pull it to the edge, and then respace to fill in the gaps.
Well, I have alignment if that's what you mean. Like justified.
Yeah, but the only alignments you have are left, right, and center, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Uh, well, wrap text
Which
at
center's the
frame.
only one you want for speech balloons anyway. But for text boxes, if justified was an option, maybe it is in the drop down. Click on the drop down next to it. I just want to see if it has it.
Next to the alignment, left,
Yeah.
right, center. We got
Is it just
right.
those?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to see if it had the option. The only time I ever see Clip Studio is when I'm on call with somebody working in Clip Studio, so I don't know every single option it has. Yep, that's fine.
Is that another page done? Yes, it is.
Hey, we're getting closer to the end.
Yeah, and I just gotta make sure that
This one doesn't bother me. I think this one's fine. But also let me double check. Yeah, there's no like missing commas or anything. I'd like to see you restack the one coming out of absorb.
you know what? I knew you were gonna say that.
Shields is fine, but like absorbs, yeah. Yes, that's actually exactly how I wanted it to be.
Oh, okay. I was about to think, no, that's not good.
No, that's the one I was thinking of putting try on its own row. Yeah.
Okay, let's move this out of the way for a second. Let's get rid of the box. Let's box the box, the box. Balloon tail. And Shields is alright. We don't got anything in panel 3, so let's come to panel 4.
You know what I'm going to say.
Stack it!
I think this one, actually, maybe enlighten you on its own row might work, but this might be too awkward. We might just end up leaving it how it is.
Yeah,
I need to see
because
how it is first.
I'm thinking what it would be is. Well, you know what?
Because you might go all the way to 2. Yeah, I like that. That's pretty good. It feels a little crunched, but that's pretty good.
Yeah, so you know what that means.
New bubble.
Hubble bubble. Boiling trouble.
Hubba Bubba Max.
Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo-Doo.
I don't think the tail needs to be that long. I think you can end it just before it reaches the lightning or anything. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so panel 7.
And I think we're probably going to do the same thing with the Bleck that we've been doing with the other ones when we get to that. Yeah, I'm fine with this one too, I think. I think my only instinct would be to move I next to on the row with boy, but because it's an ellipsis, I see why you did what you did, and I feel like we should just leave it the way it is.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna
Move it a little.
I think I put it up just slightly too far.
Yeah. What would it be like if we moved A to the next row? Because it's going to be the same off balance, but since boy is the shorter of the two, yeah, I think I feel better about this one.
Yeah.
Right? Because boy ellipsis is shorter than inside me, so we get a little bit better balance if the third line is the longer of the two middle.
Yes, it is. I actually put it in the right spot.
Nice. Okay. Well, you know what you're doing here. I'm going to go get rid of my
Dish.
takeout stuff. It's not really a dish. It's like a styrofoam container, but yeah.
Okay, so I'll say that's done. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Bum 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 bum
Okay, I'm
bum
back.
bum.
I also took the time to move everything
Yeah.
back over a couple seats from the drawing table to the desk since I'm no longer eating.
And here's another one where he messed up things. Just because Canadian Shield, from what I get from what I wrote, is supposed to be standing on the ground. He gets hit by the nuclear fireball and, crosses a flash of light, which blinds him.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got it in here, and, he didn't draw any background, so I thought Canadian Shield was flying in the sky. Then I'm
Yeah, it almost looks like it.
Well, if you take the background away, right?
Take away the stars that you put there.
Like, you just have that. So I have no idea what's going on. Now, if I would have read my script, I might have. And I would have.
You probably should have before you decided to work on the panel.
Yeah. Which in some ways I can admit is my fault. But, like, he draws no background. To give me no context. Like, if I was a colorist. Do the colorists actually read the script, or?
Yes, they do. Right? Because the script will also give you clues on the tone of the panel, maybe like direction and lighting or stuff. So yes, colorists do read the script if they're a good colorist.
Apparently, I'm not. But anyways, yeah, and Canadian Shield was. I wanted this in the background, this thing, because it's in the Wawa, and he was supposed to be hitting Canadian Shield into a granite wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously,
Here's an
he.
example right here. That panel. If because obviously the entire sky wasn't spotted black, so that the silhouettes of some other things could show. If the colorist didn't read the script and they weren't taking context clues from previous things, would they know that it's nighttime just from looking at the line art?
Well, guess what? They wouldn't know that it's nighttime because I never actually said nighttime. I decided it was.
Yes.
That's
Let's
something.
just say, in the abstract, in general, right?
Yeah,
That's something that would have been in the script for most scripts.
yeah. I can agree with that. I just did decide it, I forget what got me to decide, okay, it's nighttime. Well, like I guess I figured, the evening service on a Sunday, right? Not morning service,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And yeah, it's probably something I should have decided when I wrote the script, or had it written, but or going over it before sending it to somebody, but oh.
Which is stuff I've been getting on you about is that we need to make a lot more decisions when making the script, be firmer about things.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this one was written 30 years ago, and I forgot. Some ways I forgot, and I'm starting to go over things. We've went over a few before I've sent them to somebody.
Yeah.
And
If
anyways,
I'm confused, I force you to make decisions.
yeah. Anyways,
I think that just needs to be recentered. It's a little to the top right, too much. It's just a little tug. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want to make you change this. It's not about the stack, actually. I'm kind of fine with that.
it's that
But
bubble is
yeah,
crazy.
just on the right side, it just it felt like you ran out of steam at some point or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure where I started on that one from number two.
Yeah. Well, you can actually
Uh,
kind of tell almost, I guess, where you started, right? Because I think it starts thickest at where you start, and then it kind of like thins out near the end or something.
um,
Or at least it did the few times I saw you drawing it, so I don't know if it's consistent or not.
so okay, let's see letters. Let's bring them.
But that is just like, even considering the fact that you have to draw it by hand, comparing it to the other thought balloons you did, that one was just drawn awfully.
Yeah, I can admit that. Unfortunately. Okay, so let's move this back over to our drawing tablet. Let's come down to there. And let's do balloon pen. Make sure we're on the black. We don't want a purple. Oh, we also need to change that purple to white. Uh,
Yeah, just you take your time with it. But I assume you cannot pick up your pen while while doing this.
I can, but then that happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be all one continuous stroke, really. Which is also another reason why usually when we go with like tighter, smaller bits of text, it's easier to draw stuff like this.
What do you think?
Is that bit bothering you?
A little,
There's
but
a simple solution to that one, though. On a separate layer above it, wherever this decides to stay right here, you can just paint a little white over it.
yeah, I can just go like, where is it? Add layer from here and do this and go like that. Right?
Okay. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. This is also probably the best balloon that you've drawn so far. So you got it in you if you take your time. But I know you. It's once again you've been just trying to in that I'm checked out mode. I just want to get it done. I don't think it should come from the side like that.
Pardon?
Like, I don't think it's a good angle for the tail.
Okay,
I'd
where do
probably
you...
go a little closer to the middle at the top and then point it towards his head. Yeah, that's a little better. It just looked really awkward coming from the other side.
Okay, now let's bring this back here.
Of course, when I do thought balloons, I draw the tail itself so they all look like tinier clouds. Then just get like tinier and tinier until they disappear.
Okay, so the seconds is gonna be all right.
Yep, that's fine.
There's
Is there anything
nothing.
else on this page? Oh,
Yeah.
there's one. It's another thought balloon. That one's fine. Let me just look real quick to make sure. No, that's fine.
Okay, so another page done. Yay!
The Canadian bulge. Zord's on the ground like, no, daddy, no.
You know what? I think I meant to do a thing here.
Did he try to kick him in the crotch as if like the suit wasn't protecting him there too?
Yeah. So I was wanting to do some sort of sound effect for that hit.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure what. The idea is
Um,
crunch, but it's not the
well, but he
crunch.
wouldn't be crunching.
Well,
Probably be more like a donk sound, right? Like it hits it. He hears like the thud of him hitting it, but then like there's no effect of it, so there wouldn't be a crunch or anything.
Well, there is an effect, but not on the person that you would think.
Yeah, that's why I'm hearing like it hurts him, but I don't think we'd get a crunch out of it. So
No. What I mean is absorb. It doesn't hurt him.
no, that's what I'm saying. He's holding his like chin afterwards, right? So I don't think we'd actually get a crunch out of that.
He says, "No fair, you broke my
Maybe a
leg."
crack. We might get a crack out of it. I don't know about a crunch.
Okay, crack maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're breaking a leg, that's more of like a louder snap sound.
Okay, so yeah, it's crack.
Yeah.
So let's layer that in panel 1.
Or you even go with like a crick. A crick could be a good sound for it too.
What's it? Canadian Shield wears the loin riding loin
Girding
girding
codpiece of truth.
truth. Uh,
I think his whole suit is technically the cod piece. It's all one thing, really, until you get to the gloves and the shoes. And I guess the belt is technically also a different thing. And
no, the belt is
caped mask. Or
the
is it just there? It's more of a design?
yeah. It's not the buckle might be slightly elevated, but that's about the only thing. You know, the belt is part of the design. And
Oh,
actually,
I would assume that he actually came with a belt so that you could keep the suit tight to your body at that area.
well, the pants and the shirt are separate technically.
Yeah.
We see that several times. So
And we know he could take the shoes and the gloves off.
yeah, yeah. The pants, the boots, the gloves, the
You know what?
mask, the
belt
cape
should
are
be?
all separate.
So the belt should be part of the pants, but they should still be a separate fabric on the pant there. And it should be like, you know, in Back to the Future, where Marty's got like the self-fitting jacket,
Yeah.
right? So then, so the belt would be attached at the back, and then the buckle would reel the belt in so it matches your waist size.
Yeah.
I think that would be the most futuristic way to do it. I don't think we want it going over his head, right?
Okay.
Right, you've got a lot more room here at the bottom in that space between them. We could just like move it down some, right?
Rotate.
Or that direction too, yeah. But yeah, like that. Like look how much space you have to where you don't have to cover up his face.
Yeah.
What little there is.
I realized it was a bad spot to put it after I did it, but because of just thought, okay, that is good there. Yeah, supply transformation. Now the question is, I don't really think I want to go with purple.
Yeah, you've been using purple a lot.
Yeah, well, I'm
But
trying
you know
to.
what? It's right over this like green tree. How about if it's like orange with a black outline, so that the orange pops from the green?
Okay, so.
It's when we think of complementary colors, you know. Technically, orange and blue, green and red, but we don't want to go too red, right? Because we've already got a lot of red from Canadian Shield. You could move the orange more into the red if you want it to really be complementary to the green, right? Like a red orange. But there's just already so much red on that panel that it would stop it from popping more. And also with all the blue-ish violet, you know, the indigo on him, and that's more of what it is, indigo. The orange also helps pop from absorb.
I should have put an exclamation mark there, but. Okay, so I think the correct.
Yeah, the crack's fine.
And somehow I think. You're gonna say redo the.
I don't know, because I don't want to split up the no fair. Right?
Yeah, I think I did try this one with.
Because then it would just be leg all by itself, and I don't think that looks good. Unless unless we took the ah out and made the ah its own bubble, or that one's not bad either. I guess we could probably do that. See, what I would do is I would actually take ah out of that and make a smaller second bubble for ah.
I
Like right
was
before
I
that.
was
That's
thinking
like
of doing that. I must
yeah,
admit.
and just have like a layered little bubble attached to the other one. That would be my instinct with that type of thing anyway. Be like, ah, no fair, you broke my leg. It gives more emphasis to the ah as well. Like that's his initial scream.
Yeah.
I think. Like I have the habit of doing that almost any time a character just goes ah. Sometimes I'll even make the ah like bigger. Like yeah, like you're doing right there, just so it like really stands out. Like I have this one. I think I stole this idea from probably DC. I think DC does this quite a bit with their lettering, where I'll make the ah red, right, and then I'll put like a stroke around it and the entire bubble. But we could go with just this. That's a little complicated. Rick, why would you make the tail before you moved it?
Because I thought about moving it after. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, that's not gonna work. So go back a couple things. Quote was.
It's not a bad idea. I just don't like that overlayering the other one. Or also sticking out of the panel that much. Only because like it's starting to bleed into the other panel. I think that's the problem there.
Yeah. Let's see, that's panel 3, right? Um, let's come up to there. Darn it.
Does it not give you an option to get rid of everything outside the panel?
Yeah, I want to hit
Probably
the
because it's
delete.
treated as an object. You'd
Yeah.
probably have to rasterize it first before you could get rid of it.
Yes. Trying to figure out where rasterize is. Color. I don't. Rasterize it. Yes,
Yeah, because once something's rasterized, you can erase whatever you want.
let's see. Let's go there.
Well, when something's still a vector, you can only affect it within like whatever the formula or algorithm for the vector is.
There.
Often will give you like vector points you can manipulate. Yeah, that's better. Now that it's not like sticking out. And I don't think it was too much of a problem to stick out of the panel. It was more that it was just bleeding into the other one. But if we were
Yeah.
going to get rid of that part, it probably would have been better just to get rid of everything outside the panel anyway. So, yeah, I think it works.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, how do I feel about this panel with the shield? That's a lot of words. Trying to think, does it look bad though? Hmm. I don't know if I think it inherently looks bad. Like the words, the way it stacks. I think I just don't like the bubble. And I think the thing that bothers me the most about the bubble is somewhat the breathing room, but more so that tail's just way too long. That tail doesn't need to be that long.
Okay, well, we can do something about that. Oh, did I?
What'd you
Oh,
do? You just on the wrong layer?
oh, no, I just put Shields thing in panel talking in panel 5 when it's panel 4. So it was throwing me off a little.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna get a new bubble anyway.
Yeah. Because I think sometimes just like an ugly tail.
Oh yeah,
Why is there a
there's
tail all the way down there?
yeah because
Oh.
I
That's why it was in the same panel by accident. Yeah, I was just saying, like, sometimes otherwise a speech balloon can be fine, but then, like, an ugly tail can take an okay shape and just make it worse than it was.
well since I had to take it out anyways. Do you want to try and do something with this?
Um, those are all small words. We could probably get, like, a better stack out of this. Yeah. We just try to make it a little narrower, a little taller. Doesn't have to be by too much. If you just make it rounder, you know? Mm-mm. What if you moved before going to the bottom, right? If you moved it to the same line as fair, and then we could probably move
Oh,
blood back to the other line.
and that helps too, getting those spaces out.
Hmm. Yeah, that might be the best we can do.
Yeah, it's blood that.
We might be able to lasso. It still kind of gives you like it's like a baseball diamond type shape, though. It still feels like there's too much with a man. There you go. That might be the best that you can do with this.
Yeah.
Trying to think.
Well, it's either that or
Hmm.
do you think the did should go on the bottom line? Because I don't think you did can go back both down.
No, because then
Because
it becomes really awkward. Unless, well, no, because if you move blood, then it becomes longer than the man in cold. Um,
well,
see, that was the problem I was getting at. Anything you try to change there just makes it longer than that point, right? As you, what happens? Because then I think you get the same problem in each direction. So it's a problem in symmetry, right? Because then if you move that down, but then that man in cold becomes longer than it fair to kill. You know, like I said, the original might have been the best way before we started changing it. I didn't really have that much of a problem with the way you had it before.
uh-huh.
Um,
Well,
I
this
was
is
just the bubble itself was my issue.
well, this isn't too bad, right? What we got
It's a little
here,
bad.
or do you think did looks better on the?
I think it looks better with did at the bottom.
Okay.
It just balances more.
Yeah. Uh, okay, I've got it there now, so I don't want to go all the way and go back.
Yeah. Because the goal when you're stacking like this is like, what's the shape that's closest to a circle?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's much better. It was
okay.
the tail was my biggest problem with the last one. So
Yeah.
that's much better. But this was fine.
Yeah.
I know you had a tail before. If you want to add a new one, you can. But aside from that, this is fine.
Yeah. I just it's getting the.
I don't even think you actually need one. I think it's pretty clear that he's the one saying that.
Okay. I just.
Like, just contextually looking at that, would you
Yeah.
even think that that shout, with him being the only one there and what's being said, would come from the shield?
Yeah. True. Just. Uh, do. Pushing this to look. There we go.
I think it was just cover up all the art. I think it was kind of better where it was for the most part. You could take it a little bit out of the corner, but since I know where it was, half of it was going to get trimmed off almost. I think it's better in the other corner because the best piece, part of the art here, is the fist that's coming at the camera. So that's the part you don't want to cover anything up on.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Think it's good right there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, another page done. And nothing really there, actually. Unless you can think of something else. Well, I could probably do something special sound effect for the
There should probably
hitting
be a
the.
sound effect when they actually hit the ground in the last part.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a thud or a clunk or something, you know?
Uh, lettering. I'm just trying to think what I. It's supposed to be very dynamic, hard hitting because it technically knocks them both out for at least a few minutes because Canadian Shield wakes up after this and Absorb is gone.
Okay. So you want like a really hard sound?
Yeah.
Like a kerthud?
Kurthud?
Or kerthunk?
Kurthung? Is there anything harder?
Well, that's why I went with the right? So like "ka" sounds hard, but then "ker" sounds even harder than "ka" beforehand. At least in my head. I mean, other people might interpret that differently. You might think of it opposite if you heard the other way around.
That sound effects that make no sense. Says,
Sploosh or quack. Sometimes something like that, I just put crash. Like you can imagine what the sound is in your head. It's just crash. But I do like kerthunk. That's one of my favorite ones.
I was thinking,
That's like a
well,
heavy.
I'm not sure whether it'd be like kaboom.
Cadet.
Cadet?
I'm joking. Don't actually put cadet. That sounds awful.
Ba-boom! Although ba-boom doesn't really sound right either. Trying to think what might sound right. Okay. Putting a few of them make it sound even worse. Thought.
Well, putting a few makes it sound like there were multiple points of impact instead of just like one big crash.
Crash.
You could just put like a bunch of consonants. Something, you know. I do that sometimes, man. You just gotta feel it. That's how sound effects are. You just gotta feel it. You know?
Yeah, and so far I'm not feeling it with any of them.
Yep.
So over here. Ah. But boom seems too high. Crash. Thud seems not quite enough. Let me try.
Carumble.
Sound effect. Words for crashing into. 呃 uh, with big impacts. See what kerplunk, whoop, shatter, bang, roar, hiss, clang, thump, slosh, hum, whoosh. The boom! Crackle thud, or splinter
You
crackle.
might think it was thud, but maybe thud just doesn't sound enough to you.
No. Body thump, dull, heavy fall.
Bonk.
Impact. Whoomp. Shattering break. What was this? Impacts and collisions. Various hard hits. Glancing blow. Resounding clang. Deep boom. Large explosion. Attack. Bullet impacts. Ricochets. Liquid wounds. None of these are sounding right. Bang, boom, clatter, crash, creak, jingle, crock, knock, slap, smash, thud, whomp, thump, kerthump, yeah, whack, wham, ask rock.
Grok doesn't know.
Baroom.
Bazinga.
Yeah. Words. Large heavy object crashing into ground. Oh man, why can't I think? Crash ground effects. No. Okay, I just gotta think of something, or just put something. Although, I don't think there's anything that's gonna satisfy what I want. Now, do you think I want to color that? You still here, Metal?
I am here.
I believe I'm going with Kaboom. Any idea for maybe a coloring concept?
Um, hmm. Maybe like a bright yellow, or a. So there's already so much red on this page. Okay, what you do is you make the inside color, right, like a bright yellow, and then over it, highlighted, you take like a really big spray brush of like an orange, and then you just kind of like spray the bottom half so it makes a gradient.
Okay. It was also. T. Oh, that's what I want it. And I want that even bigger than 20. Equal 50. We'll come back. Actually, no, we won't. We'll come back here. We will do that over one, like you suggested. An orange, right?
Yeah.
With airbrush.
And yeah, you want to try to just airbrush the bottom half, right? So that it kind of makes a gradient. Oh, you want a big brush for sure.
Yeah, I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
I don't want it too big. How's that look? You think?
Mm. Well, you don't want to put it over the black. You only want it in the yellow.
Well, I was thinking it might be decent in Over the Black too, but
No, then you lose the pop that you get out of it. You know.
I think that pops too. But I get what you mean. Yeah, for sure. So we can just we can do it both ways. So,
Yeah, that looks good. 'Cause then going from like the orange to yellow gives it kind of like an explosive nature.
yeah.
You can even go back in at the very bottom with an even deeper like red orange and only crisp the end.
That would be over top of that. There we go. What do you think?
Yeah. That gives it like a very explosive look.
Okay, so let's bring this back here. And let's bring
That is
check.
probably the most effort you've ever put into lettering.
Hey,
But for me, that's very standard. I do this for like every single like sound effect onomatopoeia for the most part. Some of them don't have that much going into them. Maybe I have a couple that are flat, but that's about the amount of effort I put in for like literally everything.
no, I think definitely the most. I will admit that, but
Yeah.
like there's some that like I put thought into it, and like I want it. This I knew just your normal thing that we do. I've done wouldn't
Yeah.
suffice to implement. You know, this the Canadian Shield's wearing this suit. And the impact of this hit actually knocks him out for a few minutes, long enough for absorb to get away.
Yeah. It's like I was waiting for Metal to wait until Rick was done to tell him he didn't like it. Be like, no, start over.
Okay, so we're gonna save that. So okay, so nothing in
Oh
pen.
my god.
I told you it was bad.
Yeah, that's atrocious.
And it's
What are we doing here, Rick?
and this is because, like I said, there were supposed to be 4 more panels on this page, and
Yeah.
I had to stick them all in one panel.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
Okay, so I guess we'll take the phone first. Oh no, I guess the phone first.
Yeah. Oh my god. The problem too, it doesn't even look like it's coming out of the phone, just because of how close the receiver is to his head.
Yeah. Well, I did try and
It just
point
looks
it.
like he's saying both of these.
I did point it right to the phone. So,
Flick grabbed his popcorn. Okay, even though I know that's the logical place from where the sound is coming from, what if instead we pointed it at the telephone booth? Just to make it even clearer that it's coming from the phone.
yeah, I could do that. I'm probably gonna have to redo all these.
Probably, yeah. I'm trying to think which ones need to be redone. I don't think we can redo all of them. I don't know if you have the space for that because there's just a lot here, right? But a couple of them, like the middle one, the second one, that could be stacked better for sure.
This one,
Yeah.
probably. Aren't you supposed to be do that angular lightning bolt style tail for the phone booth?
You absolutely can do that for any phone at all. But that would involve him actually having to do the tail by hand because they don't have the option for that default in Clip Studio. Which I did suggest something like that earlier in a different phone call. Though that one, it was a little more obvious that the sound was coming from the phone.
You know what? Tail, mate, balloon tail.
Yeah, what are the options for it? I don't think they have a lightning bolt, do they?
Straight
That's just have
line,
it bend.
polyline, and spleen. And then with it.
Polyline, you might actually be able to just like have anchor points for it, right? Like just click, click, click.
Let's see.
Okay, we can. We can make something like that. We do have the option in Clip Studio. Now we don't want it to look like that. That's you want it to jag back some, right? You want to go backwards and then forward to make it look more like a lightning bolt. But when we get there, we do have an option. Maybe we'll go back to the other one after this too, if you want to keep it consistent.
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
I don't know all the options that Clip Studio Paint has, right? It's up to the people who work in it to tell me what options there are. Yeah.
Okay, so I did the middle one, I think. What do
Yeah,
you
I like
think?
that. That one's fine when we get, and then obviously you'll fix the actual balloon when we get back to that point. I think the middle one you can leave just because of how it fits in the art. Though when we get to that one, I'm probably going to suggest you move it just slightly to the side so the bubble doesn't end up on like a tangent to the border. But otherwise, it's fine. The bottom one I think can be stacked better because there's plenty of room at the bottom. There's like plenty of room.
Okay. Um,
But I do agree with Flit. It's the same thing that I said with the other phone call. At the moment, there's like almost nothing to indicate that it's not just coming from his mouth. But if we use the lightning bolt, then we can still point it at the receiver. That's fine, because it'll indicate to people that it is a different thing. I would even say we should make a little lightning bolt in between the balloons, too. For each.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this looks like it's heading in the right direction, I think. But I'm actually trying to think, could we make it even narrower? Just because of how much room there is. We don't have to cover up the shield's legs, like, almost at all. if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick, wasn't this a fun session?
Yeah. It'll help me in the future.
And in the present.
Yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, even if we do, like you actually on the uh, thing, um,
Hmm.
if I'm just somehow doing it by myself.
Yeah, I think you might even be able to just squeeze all that on the same row. And yeah, I think that's fine. Because then it can just be moved a little bit to the side, and then we don't even have to cover up his legs.
Okay, so that.
Because remember, the goal is to cover up as little as the art as possible. Which, with one big panel like this, that's not very possible, but we can at least avoid covering up Manly Cougar. This is, I think, pointing the tail at the phone headset's receiver or handset's receiver rather than the transmitter might be okay. Well, that's probably where it should be. Is actually, well, no, it should be at the transmitter, but you're going to put it towards the receiver. Yeah, yeah, that might be okay. Where
Yeah.
he's going to be talking into, because it should be up by his ear. That's where the sound should be coming out of. But right now, you have it coming out, into the receiver instead of the transmitter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But the thing
pretty.
is, if it was up closer there, it would look less like it was coming out of his mouth. But it'll be fine because we're going to replace it with a lightning bolt tail.
Okay, so third bubble down. Do you like what I did
Yeah.
there?
Yeah, I think it'll be fine.
Do you
Just
want me to
paranoid.
try and do anything for the top bubble for the phone?
No, that thing is a monster. It's a mess. The only thing I'm going to tell you to do is to move it upward into the corner. We're going to move like all of these up a little bit when we
Okay.
get there.
Okay, so
Just a little bit. Obviously, we don't want it too high because I think you want the other thing that Manly's saying to be higher up, right? Because you want people to read that first. So maybe just like a smidge. No, a little
yeah,
lower.
well, right
Yeah,
now I'm
yeah.
just more trying to move it to get the hopefully the
Oh, the bubble out of the way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, there we go. Okay, I'll deal with actually making the bubbles in a second. Okay.
They're all at the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously the okay is fine. I think that doesn't even look like it's centered right.
The first one?
Yeah, right. Because like, look where I tried and power are lined up with each other when it shouldn't be. It's got to be like a space problem. There's probably spaces after the or something, or maybe before the power. Okay, that already looks a little bit better. I would probably. I'm trying to think if anything needs to be moved. Because I know you probably were trying to keep some of the sentences on the same,
Yeah.
but I think I probably would move the I back to the row with the cougar. Um, Even though it starts a new sentence on a different line, I think the weight is better that way.
Hey, Fitzgerald.
Yeah, see, that this already has a better shape. Just because it gives you more on each side of Hello and Sims.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, I think that's fine.
Hey.
Then we have to move down, like, okay is fine. This one could probably definitely be tighter because not only are you moving out of the panel, which is still fine with this much stuff, we need to feel fine with moving out of the panel. We're also still covering up a lot of that cape, so if we could reduce that at all, that would probably be better. Town called Wawa. You plan to come on panel this time? Well, we're not in the public call. We started this as a private call when I was helping Rick work, and it just bled over into the showtime.
Yeah, we're already 20 minutes over my normal
You know,
time. It's just because I want to get this. Is that better?
that's fine. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That bottom one can probably be left the same, but this one right here probably needs to be adjusted. Because look how much is hanging off on both ends. It just how much empty space is not being covered up, right? Instead, like art's being covered up. Hmm. Might need to push it further. Maybe the last word, like meat down and then God down. Okay, that's a lot better balance.
yeah.
Yeah, I think we can work with that.
Uh, I was just struggling to make a tire and Blender. It's more camera than you think. Oh, I come up because of all the right angles,
I
or
think it says
rights,
riggets or ridgets.
or rigid.
All the things you have to rig, I think.
Yeah.
Because it's got like all these like a tire. If you're making right a certain tire, the treads are crazy. But then there's also like all these little nuts and bolts and stuff. It is a very complicated shape. Well,
Yeah.
technically it's the wheelhouse with the nuts and the bolts, but just getting it to fit on. A tire is a very complicated shape. It's more than just like a what's it called, a torus or a donut, which those are technically two different shapes too. If you wanted to be lazy, you could just make a torus, but then it wouldn't really look like a tire, like at all. Look like an inner tube. Oh, that one I thought was fine before, but yeah, if you want to try that,
I just did. I think it's better.
okay.
Unless, do I need
I
a
mean that shape's still
hyphen?
fine too.
Do I need a hyphen in between good and buy?
Technically, both ways are acceptable.
Okay.
That's one that I would have called you out on in the script if it wasn't
Yeah.
right. That is goodbye with a hyphen is a very traditional way of doing it, but without a hyphen has moved into the actual lexicon, like it's. I believe both are in the dictionary at this point.
Okay.
Oh, and for a
Okay.
client, yeah, you can't afford to be lazy if it's a thing for a client, like at all.
Okay. So let's see that. I think that is good right
Maybe a
about
little
there.
bit lower, just like right close to the edge of the telephone. Maybe a scooch higher, because you're going to cover up part of the telephone booth anyway, right? You have no way of preventing that if you want it to read in the right order.
Oh. Or yeah. Unfortunately, too, the fact that I have, if I want to make it go to the receiver or whatever, it's got to be on this side just because it's easier. That way, it's not going through Canadian Shield, right?
Yeah. But you also don't have to make it point directly to it if we know it's a phone call thing. But I think you're probably still going to want to leave it on this side anyway. Um, I think you could scooch it up just enough, though, to where, like, the word it is touching, like, the top. Yeah, that's probably fine. That way, we still leave room to where the bubble's not going to be touching the shield itself or anything like that. Which also means we can move OK up a little bit more when we get there, too. Um, just so it's a little bit cleaner in between the two.
Okay.
Oh, no, you need more breathing room than that. Oh, that's probably enough if you recenter the words.
Okay. Uh, down a little bit.
This must have been an exhilarating stream. People just watching me tell you what's not acceptable lettering.
Yeah. It's something different, that's for sure.
No.
I think the last one's good where, or should I move it?
Maybe just a little bit to the left, just a tad, so that it's just not that close to his leg. Yeah, that's probably fine.
Okay,
Yeah, 'cause
so
see where it was, then that the way it billows out, you would have been a lot closer to the knee. Mm-hmm.
I think that's good, or
Yeah, I think for the connecting ones, you can just be a little hectic about it. Doesn't have to follow a clear pattern.
oh, gee.
Yeah, it's for the actual receiver one that you want to make sure that you when you go forward, you go backwards a bit and then forward again. So it's got like that traditional lightning bolt shape.
Okay, so
Oh, I thought you were gonna actually make it come out of the phone itself, because we could do that now that we're using a different shape for it. It doesn't have to
oh, okay.
out of the actual handset. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Hey, Grant. Reading Ricks and Rickettes says,
I'm gonna tell you how to do this. I want you to start it on the word worrying. Right. I'm gonna tell you exactly where to put them. Right. Yeah. So
okay.
on the word worrying, then I want you to drag it toward the Canadian Shield's eye when you come to the telephone booth, like right there. Yes. Now I want you to drag it backwards towards the P and H of the phone some, right? And then drag it forward again to the receiver. And now we get like a traditional lightning bolt shape, right? You can make it tighter if you want, if that one, because it's getting too narrow, but that's the shape I want you to make, even if you make it a tighter shape. I just exaggerated it for you so that you could tell what I mean by it. Greeting Rick and Ricketts.
It's,
It says Grantish Crosby.
yeah. Rickettes? It shows up.
Yep.
What do you think?
I'm sure it's supposed to be Rick Etz, but it says Ricketts instead. Do I think that's passable? Do I? Rick, do you know what a lightning bolt looks like?
Yes, I know. But
It's a very easy shape to make. Yeah, but it's like the receiver, the part next to the ear, not the transmitter, which is the part you talk into. I also want to know why you want to come that high from the circle.
I don't know.
Right? That's why I told you to start with worrying. We want to start lower, then we want to double back a bit. Maybe not that low down. I almost wish I could just do this with my own hands, but it is what it is. A little better until it cancels it. Oh, Ricketts like the malnutrition disease. He's like how artists give names to their follower base. I think almost every streamer, on average, gives names to their follower base. That's not the worst one. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't give a name to my follower base. Mostly because if I did, all my names would be mean. How do you feel about it, Rick?
uh,
Not feeling it.
No.
You gotta switch the sides.
Yeah. Since I can now differentiate with thing,
With the type of tail,
yeah.
you're gonna move it to the side you wanted everything on.
Well, I think it's gonna just make sense for reading
Yeah, because
order.
people read from left to right. This isn't a manga.
No, it's a big problem is gonna be
Moving the individual bubbles. Or are we gonna have to make all new bubbles again? Okay, that's not so bad.
oh, I think there's okay, so
What's this? Discord kittens was already taken. I think if a streamer called me their Discord kitten, I would probably leave the stream, unsubscribe to them, block them, and never come back again. Granter says, actually, if I had to give a serious name for Rick's fans, I would call them something like Shieldman. And Flick goes, would that make Rick's harem the Shield Maidens?
well, technically, for me, I've already sort of named warriors is what I'm
Yeah.
wanting to call my
Audience.
yeah.
Yeah, especially like the Shield's only one of your properties anyway. Even if you weren't going with Warriors, something like Crossman or something would probably be better. But then it makes it sound like you're into CrossFit, so nobody wants that. Gritcher says that suits me. I'm definitely a warrior, but more like he's worrying. He's a worrier. A worrywart. Cross guards. I like cross guards. That's a cool one. That's a pretty good one. Though that has more to do with swords than shields. But again, the shield's only one hero. As long as we're not crossing guards. I never know what they call those people in different parts of the world. Do they call them crossing guards up in Canada?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. Sometimes you guys use more British words for things, and the Brits might have a completely different word for the person who helps you cross the street. You know.
Yeah, well, and crossing guards are more for, as far as I'm concerned, kids, you know.
More often than not, yeah. For like elementary schools and stuff.
Okay, so do you think that is good placement of those bubbles on that side?
Yeah, that's fine. Sort of. I don't know. Actually, the third one could be just a tad bit lower because it is blocking some of the cape. Think about it. What was the big thing I've been complaining about this whole time, Rick? Oh, we're going to block some of the cape anyway, aren't we? Unless we go all the way to the side. We could go more to the side. Yeah, how about there?
Right there?
Yeah, like right there. Yeah, it's still blocking some of the cape, but it's blocking a lot less of it. Like a lot less.
That's on there. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
That looks good. Okay, so let's get the other side. The bubbles done at least, and then okay. Okay, so
Oh my God, Rick! You know what I realized? All this time that I've been wasting with you, which I guess is not wasting because I'll eventually get paid for it. But all this time I've been wasting with you, I could have been playing the new Genshin patch that came out today. I forgot there was a Genshin patch today. I know what I'm doing the second I leave here.
playing Genshin Impact.
Yes.
Uh,
Why is the OK so close to him?
I'm trying to make sure it's in between the
No, I
people.
get that.
No,
It could also be a little bit further away from him too. Just a little to the left, you know? Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to go too far. Just
okay, so
he's a big guy,
let's.
you know. He needs a lot of elbow room.
I look good, you think, in that bubble?
Yeah, that's fine.
What if we all get fancy and simply call Rick's followers? Oh, I have no idea to pronounce that word.
Escutcheon. It's
Escutcheon.
more or less pronounced escutcheon. I mean, you're supposed to put like a more a little bit of like a French twinge on it, but if you're speaking English, you would just say escutcheon. It's very important to heraldry. I think in this case, I would rather it slightly sticking out of the panel than covering the shield.
Uh-huh. Let's just need to do this. Down. This is going to be a pain in the butt to. Still needs to resend the. Okay, I think all the bubbles are in a decent place.
Yes, they are in adequate position, so now you can focus on tailing them.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna do the polyline after because it's gonna be the more difficult one.
Rick, why don't you just make it curve the opposite direction?
Okay, I guess I could do that.
In fact, actually, I would go backwards. I would do it. I would snake it each time, right? So the one at the very bottom, I would have going the opposite direction. Right. Yeah, yeah, there. And then do the direction you had it the first time for that one. Right? And then we can snake around here. And then continue. And you get like a visually little interesting thing going on with the tails there, you know? In fact, actually, if you want, because OK so small and you don't want to have like a big spline coming from it, right? Because you see the problem here. What we do is we just make it go through the whole thing from the previous one, right? So go back one step. Right? Now start here. And you can kind of start a little deep in if you want, like closer to like the bottom of the I'm. No, that's what I mean. Like go backwards. You see where it says I'm? Start here, right?
Yeah.
Now go out a little bit and towards the phone, and then curve into the OK. Right, and go through. And can you curve again from there? Does it let you do a second curve?
I don't think so. Oh yeah.
Does it just end? Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then we could go all the way, and you could drag it in more, and then boom, watch. Now that's an interesting line. You could fine tune it if you want to play around, but I think that's the way to get that bubble to work.
Yeah. Okay, so polyline. Let's do the next one. You know what?
You could just do like one long line going from the bottom all the way up. I'm kidding, because we'd get too narrow by the time you get to the bottom. They gave up halfway through. I don't think that's the way to go, Rick. there's some growing pains here, right? It's a new tool. You don't use the polyline, so we're learning.
And I think of that.
Uh, I mean, if you like it, as the more important one, though, I did kind of like what you did with it before a little bit better, like the when you had it on the other side. But the more important one is making sure that we get the actual receiver tail properly. Which also, I noticed you forgot to give the actual speech tail for the Canadian ship on his side.
Yeah, I just noticed that myself. That's your problem. Okay, so we want that to go to here, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't have to go all the way, right? It can stop at his head. As long
So
as we make sure that it looks like a lightning bolt, then people know that it's not connected to him. Oh my god, that's really thick, Rick. Why are we pointing at his collarbone?
because oh, it likes to reshape it on you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess if we're gonna do that, we might as well. Oh, that's gonna clip poorly. You don't want to start there. Look at the corner it's creating.
Yeah, no, okay.
Yeah. If we're gonna do that, you might as well just arc around his head so we don't have to cut it off any. Like go up and then down.
Like that.
Yeah. Though I want you to do it again to where it's not touching the other bubble, the other speech balloon. Like you've got the idea right now. Just do it good. If you're happy with it, that's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so let's see how the audience thinks of it. I'm sure they'll complain more than I will, but they haven't been doing this for hours and probably aren't as tired with this as I am.
Or me.
Yeah.
This took way longer than I was anticipating.
Well, if we're happy with this one, we do need to go back to the other phone now. Because there was another phone call.
Yeah.
And we didn't do this way before, so we do have to go back to the other phone call. But I think that's the last thing we need to do if we go back to the other phone call.
Yeah. Well, last thing you need to do, anyways, I need to.
Oh yeah.
I need to make them into. I need to make them into PDFs and all that, and
There you go.
as much as I want to do it, do it and have it go down to the thing tomorrow morning. I might end up wait till tomorrow to do all the stuff that I want to do. I want to make sure. Actually, I want to make sure number one's formatted because I'm probably gonna bring for number one the remastered down and get it done because I recently got them because I'm going to be needing some soon, and B, I got the when I had to reprint Snowdrift 1 and Canadian Shield 2 for the Comic Con I was at a couple months ago. I got them printed more in a format that's comic-esque for feel,
Yeah.
and I want to do that for number 1 before. So I'll still have some old ones, but
Okay. Well, I think we're probably done with this page. So
yeah, nobody's saying anything, so
save it. It's going to be good enough.
yeah.
It's good enough for a comic that you're mentally, emotionally done with anyway. So
Yeah, I'm gonna remaster it, and get it all.
yeah. So let's go back to the other phone call. It's like the one thing that we need to do with this session. Which was that one? Was there actually was there 2 phone calls? I think there were 2 different phone calls, Rick.
There's no.
There wasn't there his buddy was on the phone too.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Grancher says, I mostly just listen in. Looks fine, just a lot to read for a single panel. Yeah, but there's not much you can do about it. There were supposed to be several different panels, and that's just what his artist gave him.
Yeah, my artist, like, there was there was a break from panel 2. Panel 3 continued on the next page, and he didn't read through to the next page, thinking that there was only 2 panels. That's how it ended. Well, not that whole jibber jabber, but I think the first 2 of them for Canadian Shield and
Okay. So the only thing we have to do is just specifically the bubbles involving the phone. We just need to change the tails, which probably means making new bubbles, but that's the only things that need to be adjusted. As far as the session with me is concerned.
yeah. Okay, so panel 1, lettering. Can we just.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so there's 2 bubbles in this one that need to be changed.
Oh.
Oh, you can just do the tail. It's a separate object. Oh, that speeds things up a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, that one's fine. Aren't you glad that Clip Studio treats these all as just separate objects, separate vectors that you can go back and change?
Yes. Especially right now.
Yeah. Grancher says, "Oh, good job then bringing it together then."
Okay, so that is done on that page. And that's panel 5 or panel 7. Panel 5.
And there's only one there, so that's pretty good. Hmm. Actually, don't know about that ringing. I didn't call that out before because I don't think I noticed it, but I don't know if those rings pop enough.
They probably don't. So are you
If we
saying?
invert it though, yeah, with the yellow on the inside, because it's not as big as the other thing that we put the yellow on the outside before, and the background is lighter than the yellow is the bigger problem, right? Like some of it's blending into the wall.
Okay, so let's see. That is. I doubt that is.
Yeah, and I think
Oh,
it's
it
because
is.
even when you were working on this before, I didn't even notice that those rings were there to call them out, which means they're probably not popping out enough. So it's doubly good we came back to this. Okay, and then zoom out a bit. Oh yeah, yeah. That pops way better. I could tell there's actually sound effects around the phone now.
Okay, that's saved. Okay, so now let's see. Delete, delete, delete. I love that.
That's one of those ones that I probably would have caught if I was just like looking at it on my own. But with you being the only screen scrolling this and stuff, and sometimes we're too zoomed in, I didn't even notice those before. Where are you going with that? Okay, if you want that, that's fine.
I'd like something better, but I don't know. uh, the
I want to say that's it.
well, I can't think of anything else that needs to be done on it. That
We've hit every page.
yeah, every page that like needed you to do something, like find where Cross Comics
Yeah, we
is.
didn't go to the back or front cover, but there's probably absolutely nothing I should need to do on the back or front cover.
Yeah, but it is done. I just need to make it into a PDF and this. I need to make whatchamacallit, the card into a PDF. And I just need to make sure number one is properly formatted. So
Yep. Now I just need to remove this from my site real quick, so I'm not tempted to dig us back into more pages and make decisions that I decided not to do earlier.
well, that took way longer than I was planning. Was thinking it should, but I think it's going to make it a bit better. So I'm semi-satisfied with the final product.
Yeah,
Not
as
go-
satisfied as you can be.
yeah, so I don't know what else to say.
At least satisfied enough to get people something they paid for.
Yeah, I'm still gonna redo it, and when I redo it, the people that paid for these inserts,
Yeah, they're still gonna get them.
yeah, I'm gonna put them in, and I'm gonna make sure they're in every scene. Like I get, whether they're in the front row, back row, or somewhere else in it, or in the middle. You got to mix them up. You can't have them all in the front row.
Yeah, yeah. See, what I
But
would have done if I was the artist on that is I would have took a piece of scrap paper on the side, and I would actually like drawn a top-down diagram of how the congregation is, and then like labeled real quick, like maybe initials, like this is redhead, this is blonde guy, this is whatever. Like so I knew to keep them in the same place from panel to panel.
yeah, because if you look, I'll show you. I know you saw it earlier, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much you were paying attention. Here's
I was
the.
paying more attention back then than I am now, but that was also because that was many hours ago.
But if you look at this first panel where we see the congregation, right?
Yeah.
And then we come to here. First one is nobody that you see there. Actually, I don't think in any of these panels.
Is there ever a repeating person? Except for at some angles, Man Like Cougar exists.
Yeah, he's but the only one that is there twice.
And he's so big, any angle that looks backwards, as long as it's like covering his part of the congregation, he'd have to be visible.
Yeah. Like, he should probably be visible in this shot of the four people.
Yeah. Oh, because I mentioned earlier, this is one of the page where I actually made Rick go in and fix some art. He did not like shade the I guess that's the worship leader
Yeah,
at all.
I got lazy. I'll admit it.
So I'm like, come on, Rick, just some minimum shading on the skin, something.
And I did. I think I'm glad for it. Anyways,
It's probably
thanks.
time to wrap up. You're on a lot longer than you planned on it, I think.
Yeah, well, on that and on my show.
Yeah, it's like 3 hours ago.
Okay, well, since you were here for the whole thing, well, anything you want to promote before we end?
I guess I can go. Instead of just telling people to go play Genshin Impact, which I have nothing to do with. I just really like the game and would want more people to play with me. You can, if you like my stuff, you can go check out xdynamischaos.com. That's where I make all of my my fictional stuff within the same universe. You can find comics, web novels, articles, all kinds of things on there. Anything to do with the world of X Dynamis Chaos. Which has been kind of busy this week. Out of nowhere, wasn't even promoting it, haven't been on anything, just a bunch of people randomly found the website.
Oh, that's always nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Abe, very much for coming on. Thank you for helping me get this done finally. Going over, like I thought going over, it was gonna be Usually I didn't think we'd be doing all the bubble stuff, but it's made it better.
I had a
So
hunch.
my
In fact, the
thought,
second you actually pulled the comic onto the, you said we were done with the trading card, and like, let's go look at the comic. I had a hunch we'd be changing a lot of the bubbles.
I was just I was initially thinking, okay, let's go over it, make sure I got all the grammar stuff correct. Oh, I didn't mess up the transferring of everything onto from one thing to another. And for the most part, I don't think I did. Maybe we forgot some commas somehow or whatever the first time. But, I thought it would just be all checking out all that, making sure it was correct.
There's
But,
also a chance that some of them accidentally got deleted when you were like rearranging the rows the first time. Like the
yeah,
lines.
there's that possibility too, yeah. For sure. So, but anyways, it's done. I just got to make sure everything's good, put it on a flash drive, and probably not today. Well, for me, being Wednesday, am I going to bring it down? But I'll be bringing it down Thursday, and all of it, getting it paid for or mostly paid for, and be picking it up sometime, hopefully next week, for things to happen. So, yeah. And in the meantime, I'll be probably getting all my envelopes ready and figuring out how many of each thing everybody wants. So I'm ready when they come in to just put them in their envelopes and then take them all to the post office and say, "Bon voyage, packages." Okay, so yeah, thanks for coming on, and thanks everybody for watching. We'll catch you all later. See you tomorrow night. Bye for now. God bless. Have a great night, day, whatever it might be for you. Love you all. Stop streaming.